Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 24 hours, I have been mentally preparing myself for 15 minutes of Hitomi. Hopefully, my brain does not collapse on itself, but it is not comprised of vegan vegetable seed oil, so I think we might be okay. Before we get started, I will say that this video is sponsored by Hitomi's own very vegan cookies that are available on frankiesfreerangefoods.com. They are the highest quality, organic, minimally inflammatory cookies. We have both dark chocolate chip and white chocolate chip with walnut, hazelnut, and then the white chocolate chip has macadamia nuts. So very, very, very delicious. Guys, definitely try them out. Support myself and Hitomi if she decides to accept her unofficial sponsorship. You guys know, I've told you, she blocked me on Instagram before I even messaged her, or even got to view her profile on my phone. So looks like she is still wandering through the jungle with some ugly girls in her class. Look, for how attractive Hitomi is, you would assume that she would be with some prettier girls, you know, but hey, I can only complain so much. Behold, our queen Hitomi has titled the video, "What I Eat in a Day to Feel Good, Easy and Plant-Based." So hey, maybe she's taking a hiatus from the cleansing and the healing, but that's pretty unlikely. And before any of you say I'm being mean, you know, I'm stalking her, any of that type of stuff, come on, guys. This is a joke. This is for comedy, humor. I hold my standards a little bit higher, although, you know, I mean, let's not get into that. Let's be polite for the first few minutes. Yo. I feel like a 12-year-old that just saw balloons for the first time. Bro, is this how she gets so many... Is this how she gets so many views? Oh my god. These outfits are on point.
Hello. Good morning.
Yo, how fake can you be? How fake can you be? Puts on the cute outfit, combs her hair, washes her face, takes a shower, gets back in bed, and goes, ah. It's fucking hilarious.
Today's the kind of day that I just want to spend 2 hours in this very spot reading books and doing nothing. I'm drinking some turmeric, tulsi, ginger tea, and I did put a bag of sweet and spicy decaffeinated because it is so yummy.
She is just so Pinterest. Like, the cup, what is that, like a mug from ancient Rome that has like some hieroglyphics from Egypt, the paper they used to write on, like, and the blanket and the bed frame too. It's just like hippy dippy to say the least.
And sweet and spicy, which is a great combo.
Decaf tea,
Wow.
I mean,
Sometimes
I'm
I'll
sure we'll
also
have
squeeze lemon right into my tea as well. And I have to say, I hadn't gotten sick for 7 years straight until I got COVID a few months ago from my roommate. And a lot of you are asking how I did that, and it might just...
We know what type of roommates you have, Hitomi. But if I have to be serious about tea for a second, generally they're pretty high in fluoride. You got to be careful where you're sourcing the tea from. And I'm not a tea expert, but, you know, if you really want to look into it, different types of herbs and flowers, there's some that are definitely okay. But it requires a lot of research and exploration, and you really have to like tea.
Just be because I'm young and have good genes, but I also do immune boosting things every single day, whether I'm feeling sick or not.
Well, let me tell you, playing in the jungle with 3 nasty girls is definitely going to boost your immune system. That's why she hasn't gotten sick in so long.
And I think that's really helpful. Like, I will drink ginger and turmeric or consume it in some form every single day. And getting anti-inflammatory things into your diet.
So ginger, turmeric, it's like the anti-nutrient thing, and the darker color it is, especially turmeric, very high in flavonoids, very high in carotenoids, not good for your liver. And these actual inflammatory reactions that people get from the foods make them think they're like invigorated and actually getting better until the point where they feel like they're dying from liver failure.
It is so helpful because inflammation can be the cause of a lot of health issues, including brain health issues.
Hitomi
Overall,
chomping
I
down on
really
the
like
bro
to focus
science.
on long-term sustainable health, which looks like doing low impact workouts, getting regular blood work done to make sure I'm not deficient in things, having a calm nervous system, checking on my stress levels and my cortisol levels.
What is low impact workouts for? Because your frail vegan bones will snap as soon as you lift up a dumbbell?
And also, I'm getting my first annual C-reactive protein test this year. Basically a test that tests for the inflammation inside of your body. I've gotten root canals. If you've ever gotten a root canal, it can be helpful to get one of these because
I mean, Hitomi, maybe being vegan for so long and having all these health issues continuing, is she ever going to wake up? I wonder how many of her teeth are missing. Root canals are very bad. We did a video on root canals a few months ago.
when you have that, there can be bacteria that can cause inflammation, and my mom has Alzheimer's, so it's just been something on my mind for a while, starting at a young age, and I'm just on it and thinking about the future. It doesn't freak me out. I just really want to live a vibrant, healthy, full life and not take my health for granted by just making conscious choices every day to listen deeply and to feed into these feelings of ease.
Feed into the
Please
sushi
join me
cravings,
on a
Hitomi.
day of
Eat the
eating
fish.
and some meal inspo.
Eat salmon more
Sex
than
is
once a
great,
month.
but have you ever read with yourself in bed for hours while drinking a warm beverage on a Sunday morning? Little outfit of the day today. I'm wearing these cargo pants with my Indigo Luna wrap top and then this sweater from Peru on top. This is my favorite sweater. I really want to learn how to weave when I'm there. And yeah, I feel like going for a little stroll this morning. So I'm gonna walk.
Has this girl ever worked a real job in her life? I haven't done that much exciting stuff, guys, but I definitely have some stories about how many job interviews I used to have to go on to get a decent gig.
To this
It
market near
builds
my
character.
house. It's more of a general store and they have some produce there sometimes, so I'm going to see what they have and try to acquire breakfast ingredients, but I also feel like making
Sounds like
sushi,
she's
so
about to trade some sticks and leaves for some papayas or something.
I might just make that my little savory breakfast moment, striking once again. But yeah, I really would wear these slippers everywhere all the time, but they're my little house slippers, so I'm going to put my sneakers on, but that's the fit. I decided to make a quick breakfast before my morning walk, and I am fully back in my oat phase. Once I'm in it, it's hard to get out. If you know, you know. They just become really addicting, but I like to add a scoop of protein powder, maca powder, and spirulina.
I mean, you guys know I'm a fan of oats now in my new diet, but the plant protein powders is really just inflammatory. I don't think they add any nutritional value, and they're highly processed. Now she's just going to add some more anti-nutrients and green stuff. When you're putting something in your diet, it needs to have a purpose. Does it have nutrition or does it have calories? At least oats serve the purpose of the calories, and they also have a lot of fiber to help detox your liver.
I kind of use oats as my little smoothie bowls for something that I can add all my superfoods
It's oatmeal, not a smoothie bowl, not an acai. I can't.
into first thing in the morning that doesn't completely cool down my
Bunch of
digestion. It's
geriatrics.
very
These
warming,
vegans need to puree
very
everything.
filling. I also added cinnamon, and this is a powdered blend of ginger and turmeric.
Look at the color.
So I just put all the goods in there, sometimes a little
Green sludge for
drizzle
the
of
liver.
maple syrup and whatever fresh fruit I have on hand. But this morning,
Let me give you guys a pretty good picture. When you eat that food that's colored like that, you're essentially dyeing your body that color. Does that make sense? Whatever is in it. Like, here's a good example. Like, drinking blood, like, has a lot of iron in it. Like the raw tars and the raw primal people that like drinking blood. You're dyeing your body with red iron. Like, that's not good for your... Oh, my God. Maybe not the best analogy, but the point is, if anything is colorful, you have to find out what is giving the food that color and how does the body have to process it.
I didn't have any fresh fruit, so I just had it as is. You can sprinkle a little salt on these, and they are so delicious.
You know what? That's actually a really good analogy. Never mind. The more color a food has, generally speaking, the harder it is on the liver, with the base of that being like apples are white, like pasta is white, oats are white, rice is white. Usually the lighter color, the grains and the starches and stuff, are not as hard on the liver.
If you can just look past the color, they're quite yummy. I did acquire some Japanese sweet potato, and now I'm about to rinse my rice, which is very important. Gonna use a strainer
Hey, we
and
just did
make the
the
sushi rice, which
rice
I am
arsenic
obsessed
video.
with rice. I used to bring this in.
I will say she looks very pretty here. She looks very pretty. I'm down, Hitomi. I'm still down for the date just for content. Look, hey,
A Ziploc bag for my school
people would
lunches
watch.
all throughout my childhood. I am rinsing out 2 cups
Imagine me actually trying to talk to Hitomi for like half an hour. We'd probably choke each other.
of sushi rice and boiling this with 2 cups of water, letting it come to a simmer, and then adding a lid on top.
This is what happens when you live in the jungle with a bunch of girls. The water barely comes out of the tap, and you have a 92-year-old pan that needs to be cleaned.
And cooking it for about 15 to 20 minutes until all the water is absorbed. It's really important to use a tight fitting lid when you're making rice. And while that was cooling off, I just prepped my veggies. I love scooping the seeds out of cucumbers. It just makes them taste like that full cucumber experience rather than super liquidy and seedy. So
all right, 2 hours to prepare the vegetables.
Probably the most tedious task of making any sushi type thing, but once it's done, it's really easy. I'm also sauteing some mushrooms with.
She's having flashbacks of when her boyfriend took her to Nobu the week before, and she ate all the tuna in sight.
The sauce ingredients that I have on this screen, and this is definitely sweeter. This is the same sauce I use to make my roasted eggplant, so feel free to add any variation of this. And definitely,
how funny would it be if like you opened up a vegan restaurant just to troll vegans and put like handfuls of dirt and everything, and they told you how good it tasted? Oh, this is so earthy. I love the mushrooms. And they'd be getting a lot of protein from all the insects in the soil too. Honestly, why don't vegans eat bugs and dirt and stuff? I mean, back to business. Yeah, this is just a very traditional Asian meal, and we know that Japanese, China, a lot of these Asian countries, the people live very, very long because they eat whole foods. She's just missing the animal protein, the actual fish part.
some spice if you want that. I made a side of miso soup and was ready to put everything together.
See, if you had fish instead of the orange crap, you'd be good to go.
I'm going to make a little sushi burrito variation because cutting this into rolls I know will just lead to disaster and heartbreak. Putting rice on just 3/4 of the nori sheet, and then I'm gonna add my cucumber.
I bet the ladies,
to
even
the
the ladies
top,
watching, are distracted.
Which I grew up mostly with Latin influence
fair.
from my mom, and my dad was the Japanese one, and he wasn't around too much. But the one thing that
he wasn't around too much. Oh, we might have been able to guess that one.
Okay, there was a few meals that he made for us, including udon noodles, mochi, and sushi, and he would just make cucumber rolls for us. So this is really nostalgic for me, and I like to add a lot of my own things now, but I love preparing the carrots this way because then you can easily get a little perfect bite. And I also shredded some sushi ginger, so I'm gonna put that in because I also feel like I would just put
we're not even halfway
done
done
on every bite, and I'd rather have it mixed in. Before I forget, I'm gonna add this chipotle veganaise, which is kind of random, but instead of a sriracha.
Chipotle veganaise. I mean, she hasn't had like any significant amount of fat today, so she's probably craving calories really bad. Just gonna dollop some seed oil slop on the sushi.
Mayo, I'm using this for today just because I don't have plain mayo. And I think this will be good. Just any kind of creamy thing is nice to have in a roll. Although I never actually liked mayonnaise. I feel like it's been conditioned into me to add it to things, even a vegan version, but I understand the creamy effect. And after going vegan, I was like, okay, this isn't bad. And it's nice to have a little bowl of water to wet the end, but I'm just gonna use my saliva.
Vegans will do any... I'm getting distracted.
Have a little bowl of water to wet the end, but
vegans will do anything to not eat meat. She will literally get 30 different ingredients shipped around from the globe instead of literally walking outside to her jungle backyard and catching a fish or some type of primate.
I'm just gonna use my saliva because this is for me and I'm hungry. Okay, that's not bad.
I feel like we're watching some softcore stuff, not a day of eating video. At this point.
I really don't show it too much on camera, but I really like to take a few bites every time I eat with my eyes closed so that I can really experience the food, the flavor, the texture, the way it feels, even just to swallow the food. I'm gonna make like 5 more of these.
You guys know the hot crazy scale, right? Like the hotter the girl is, the crazier. What am I doing here? The hotter the girl is, the crazier she is. So it just goes up. Like, anyway.
I made as many of these sushi burritos as I could.
Tell me, we don't want to see you make these ridiculous vegan burritos.
To my roommate, and I think in total I ate around 5 of these for the whole day, and I was just so full until dinner with eating the soup as well.
Eating 5 pounds of this sushi crap.
And this is all that I ate today. Some days I don't eat 3 whole meals, so I ate this for both lunch and dinner, and I'll still include a second dinner recipe on here because I like to do that with every what I eat in a day.
Maybe she's tired of the Jungle Girls. Maybe she's missing her boyfriend in New York. That's why she ate 5 burritos.
These are just
sushi burritos. It's sushi.
Delicious.
Burrito.
Of course, if you have any leftovers or don't feel like making these into little sushi burritos, you can also make this into a bowl. I love macro bowl type things, so the next day I made a salad out of the little bit of leftovers that I had, and it really hit. So just know that these are very versatile ingredients, and once you have certain things in your pantry, it's easy to recreate.
But this girl is so obsessive. She'll have like the same thing for 3 weeks straight every time she does a day of eating.
A lot of different things, but I had a little booty pump in the gym, and I just pretty much work out on a consistent basis, but whenever it feels good. I haven't been tracking it too much, but every time I go to the gym I do lift weights, and when I'm at home I do Pilates. I really like...
Yeah, I'm surprised she has any muscle mass whatsoever on her diet with this type of weight training routine, because the only vegans that actually have any muscle mass, they're using large amounts of performance enhancing drugs, and they're doing heavy resistance training. So tell me, we know you're having sushi a few times a month.
Pilates with Nicole, I think is her YouTube channel. I'll have it linked down below. But lately I feel like I've been going through a second puberty where it's really easy for me to gain weight.
Bro? What is she talking about and doing today? I can't. These outfits. Hitomi, if you come back to New York, I will take you to Nobu, and I'll take out a loan for us to go to Nobu. That's for sure. I'll sell my car. We can get a nice dinner at Nobu.
And gain muscle, and I don't feel like I need to eat as much. I've been eating my normal serving sizes and then feeling more full than I ever have after eating, and so I'm getting to know my body as it's changing and just trying to be curious about what it needs. It's definitely normal, and I'm just continuing to move my body in ways that feel fun and exciting. Sometimes that looks like lifting weights in the gym, doing Pilates, going for a hike, doing a dance workout, anything that makes me feel excited to enjoy.
I mean, I can't blame her. Like, if I was playing with those Jungle Girls all night, I'd have no energy to work out either.
Body has been my weekly workout medicine.
Okay, so I'm not watching Hitomi do posture stretches for a few minutes. You guys can do that if you'd like to. If I was a lesser man, I would sit here for several minutes watching this girl stretch. If I was a lesser man.
I was ravenously craving a miso ramen, so I threw this recipe together, sauteing ginger, garlic, mushrooms, and adding some vegetable broth, as well as a little sheet of kombu for...
Yo, she literally takes the same 7 ingredients every single meal of this video and makes it into something else.
Flavor. I added tons of miso paste to this, as well as a heaping spoon of tahini for creaminess. You can also add nut milk. You can add almond butter or peanut butter to make it creamy. Just be aware of how that'll affect the profile. I added some rice vinegar and some liquid aminos and just did all of this to taste, because I can identify with my taste buds what a miso ramen should taste like, and this did come pretty close. And I added some kelp noodles to this, and in order to soften kelp noodles, you just want to mix the juice of 1 lemon with about a tablespoon of baking soda, and that creates this little chemical reaction that you just want to use on the noodles, and it really softens them up and makes them really silky, smooth, and edible rather than their naturally crunchy, thick texture. So I highly recommend doing this.
I think she's had a pretty good diet, you know, with the exception of a few things that are a little high in anti-nutrients. Overall, if she just added some animal protein, she'd be so healthy.
And this came out so good. I have made this recipe so many times since throwing it together in this video, and I just added whatever toppings I had on hand. The nori on top was so delicious. Added those green onions.
She generally has some grains, some starches, some pretty high mineral plant foods. She's making everything from scratch herself. You know, she's adding some flavorings and stuff to make it taste good. So I mean, looks like a great diet without, if you ignore the fact that she's vegan.
And some leftover grated carrot from the day before, and I really love this meal. Hola, amorcitas. Es la hora para comer, y aquí tengo mi ramen noodles. I just added a little bit of nooch to add to that.
So maybe I need to travel the world with a bilingual mommy.
Nutty flavor and a little bit more liquid aminos. And let's take this first bite. I'm gonna get some seaweed in there.
You know what the snake tattoo means, right? The snake tattoo means that she will strangle you and poison you. And yeah, you guys get the drift. Like, if someone had like a tattoo of a spider, you know, what do spiders do? They like wrap flies up in their web and they suck the blood out of them. You know, what do snakes do? They poison people. Some snakes constrict people. So it's not a pleasant animal to associate yourself with.
Oh my God, this broth is so good. And I'm sorry I don't have specific measurements. I was just throwing things in there, but wow. You can add anything you want, of course, any traditional ramen things. I really like these kelp noodles. They absorb flavor decently, but of course using normal ramen noodles will be much more flavorful. I think I would
I wonder what she did. Is it the camera or the lighting?
dates and sea salt. At the end of the night, if I'm craving something sweet, I usually have cacao. And I'm eating this fudgesicle that has banana, coconut milk, coconut water, cocoa powder, dates, and sea salt. At the end of the
So that actually sounds pretty good. It has coconut milk, chocolate, is calorically dense, but again, no animal protein the whole day. What I was getting at, what did she do to clear up her skin? I mean, I've been joking that she's been eating fish, but I think it might actually be either, she went to the doctor and went on some antibiotics or something. She's obviously doing something differently. She looks a lot healthier and a lot better in this video, to say the least. Look, her diet is a lot better than what she was doing. As we said, she's making everything from scratch, and under the assumption that she's going on these weekly sushi outings with her stinky boyfriends and girlfriends, I think Hitomi will be fine. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I can go another, several years without watching another one of these, but you guys ask and I shall deliver. And if she keeps wearing outfits like this, I will oblige. So you guys can go to frank-stefano.com if you guys would like to support me further. We showed you guys the cookies earlier on frankie'srearrangedfoods.com. Hitomi's very vegan cookies are certainly available. But you guys can drop a like on the video, leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe and check that notification bell. And we'll see you guys soon.